we wake, hear the birds and see the sun.
Hello beautiful people, it's Derryn here from Art by Derryn with another ArtStart DIY. Today I'm going to show you my winter decor video. It's starting off with some frost covered branches. This video is a little late, I've been not well, so we're going to need some glue, some Epsom salt and some sticks. Now I painted these sticks white before I started as well, and just using the glue with the brush and sprinkling on Epsom salt to give it a frost covered look. So I'm going to do about, I think I did about 7 or 8 branches, and I'm going to use them in my blue and white spotty vase. And I wanted to hang, I originally got these sun, you'll see it here in a second, these little sun ornaments, because for winter solstice, you know, you want to bring the light in for us, winter down here at down under, and they're just too big. I was like, oh, that's not going to work. They're way too big. I mean, it looked okay, but I didn't really like it. So then I've got these little mirrors. These are just from Amazon. They work really well if you glue 2 together. Just put a tiny dot in the middle of hot glue and then glue it together on either side of this just white ribbon that I got from the reject shop. And I hung a few of those, then decided I really wanted to add a few more just to give that kind of glint when you're looking at it. Not sure if I love this piece or not. What do you think? I think it's pretty, and I know it's nearly the end of winter down here. It's August now. So I decided then to make a tree. So I got my sticks and I glued them together to make a tree. So what I did, just any tree, and I noticed this with people that are beginning to draw, they always make their limbs too fat. So the trunk is always the fattest part, and then the branches have to be thinner. Otherwise they wouldn't stay up there if they weren't. So I did the same thing, glue, and covered it with the Epsom salts there. Now here's this candle trick that I've got, where you actually engrave into the candle any shape that you like. Here I'm just doing a moon. And the thing about this, it's the depth. I'm going to use acrylic paints on this, and you might think, well, they don't really mix acrylics with wax. They don't, but in this case, as long as the engraving is deep enough, then the acrylic will sit in there, and then I sort of heat seal it in with my heat gun as well, just to sort of melt the wax around it. So here I'm just sort of scrubbing in a little bit of paint to the background, and you'll see when you melt the wax it kind of makes this marble effect. So you can see there how the paint is staying in those grooves, and then when you hit it with the heat gun, see how you get these kind of blue marble effects. Well, teal this colour is. And just heat sealing that all the way around. Don't put your heat gun on this for too long, it will melt, it is wax. And then any little bits, I've got this bit on the back from last winter actually, no, last Christmas that was. If any bits of paint are too thick, you can just go in with this little pottery tool and scrape it off. Now here's our bouquet. Remember we had it with sunflowers and autumn leaves. I'm going to take that apart now, and it's going to have winter. So I'm just adding a few more leaves and some white flowers. This is all from Bunnings, these flowers, and just made a little bouquet there. The home sign again, we're going to keep reusing what we've already got. Here I'm making a little wreath just out of the paper ribbon here, wrapped it around 3 times to make a circle, and then wrap it around and glue it to the end, so you get this kind of little wreath form. And then I'm going to add some flowers to that, and I'm also going to add a mirror. And I wanted to say, when you're doing home decor or with your art, you want to repeat motifs. They're called motifs. Motifs? I can't remember. Anyway, so if you use a colour or a form in one part of your decor, use it again in another part. So here I'm repeating the mirror, the sticks, and the flowers. So the flowers are in the bouquet, the mirror and the sticks are in the vase piece, and the tree. So you sort of get that harmonious harmony with your decor. Here I decided I really wanted the flowers to go all the way around. Why not? And this is going to hang on my little home sign. Now I decided to make a little winter sign. Got some blocks. These are just the, I think, they're called 1-inch blocks, 2.5 centimeters. Glued those together. And I'm just going to paint these before I glue on the winter, so it's easier to paint rather than having to paint round letters. And this is just Nantucket Blue from the Folk Art chalk paint range. Painted the winter first. Now these are wet, and if I grab some white, not a lot, just a little bit, then I can get this kind of variegated kind of look on the back. See, got a little bit of the dark blue, the light blue, and then the white on top to give us that winter look for our winter sign. Now I decided to do some light switches, and I tell you I didn't like either of them that I did. I used these oil paints. I wanted to see how they reacted on the plastic, actually, so it was an experiment for me. But what it ended up doing, didn't matter how much paint you pumped out the thing, it left this kind of horrible skin kind of texture on the plate cover. So don't do that. Don't use these. Use an acrylic paint. It would be far smoother. Here I'm just using the oil paints to paint on some leaf vine with some gold as well. Drawing it on first there with a pencil just to know where I'm going, and painting that on again. That's all the oil paints, all those ones. So again, not sure if I like this. I think the black line's a little heavy, and then I decided, because the way my light switches are, they've got a big plate in the middle of it, so I'm going to have to paint that as well. So I went lighter. Acrylic paint always dries darker, because if you think about glue that's white and then it's clear when it's dry, that's why. So here's this little mirror that I had in my studio. I added the same green paint to it and added the rub and buff. Just putting it on a little paper towel. Instead of getting it all over my finger, you can sort of wrap your finger in a paper towel and rub it on that way. So that's that little vignette there in my studio. Now some sketchbooks. I got these little sketchbooks, and because I go through them quite a lot with ideas, and it's good to have for, when you're working things out for builds and things like that. So here I've just got some fabric, and I'm gluing it on with some soft gel matte medium and just wrapping it as you would normally a book. Here's a piece of that winter scene scrapbook paper I've got it's from Stamperia. Stamperia. I'm not sure. That's the one that I'm working on at the moment. It's for my winter look. Again, covering it as you would a normal book. Gluing it down though with the soft gel matte. And the last one, this is one with writing on the front of it. I think it's dictionary terms on this piece of paper. And there's 3 little books covered. One, of course, I've started using already with my for my veggie washing station. That's next. So here's winter. Sorry the video's so late. As I said, I haven't been well. Feeling much better now though. And here's my little winter scene. Still using the same candlesticks and beads from autumn, as well as the pumpkins and the little beach shacks there, and of course the combi van. I mean, surfers go surfing in winter. And here's our little winter solstice vase with some little IKEA statuettes there. Now I'll just show you what I've got on my altar. I put some berries and some sort of brownish leaves in the little milk jug, and everything else basically stayed the same. Oh, and I put some dried sticks and some little dried flowers in my big urn as well. I'm thinking about painting that black. What do you think? Not quite sure. So I didn't do much in the lounge room for winter, just updated these two florals. Still looks pretty though. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please let me know what your favourite was in the comments. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. Bye for now.